And we are back for the last segment of our show. And it's not for the least because we've got Andrew and Yuri that are going to talk about customization for Year 4, Season 3. How are you guys today? And welcome to the show.
I'm doing fairly well, yeah.
I didn't ask, but thank you, Yuri. Andrew, how are you doing?
I feel free today, finally.
Why is that?
Look at me. Am I attackers or defenders color?
I can't tell.
Doesn't matter now.
Because it doesn't matter.
Look at that. Team identification. If you missed the first part of the show, there was a hell of a recall. This guy's a professional. Speaking about professionalism, let's talk about Year 4 Season 3's customization when it comes to not only the Battle Pass, but we also have regular drops, new armor variations, new weapons, of course. But can you tell us a little bit more about the theme in general? And maybe not just only for the Battle Pass, but also the regular drops?
So basically, well, Warmonger has arrived from last season, and now this is their corruption has spread it, and now we need to find a way. The Warriors need to find a way to survive or fight back. So they will be kind of uniting, and season 15 TU1's theme will be based on the herbalism, purification, and divinity as the visual theme. You'll see a lot of design based on this theme, like nature and divinity, and then to contrast from the last seasons. So there, which is a corruption, you'll find the season design very sleek and kind of pure. And throughout the season, you'll witness some factions kind of helping each other to fight back the Warmonger's power.
Very good. And so that being said, do we go straight to the showcase, you think? Anything else, Yuri, that you wanted to add?
You said it perfectly. I wouldn't dare change a word.
Excellent. I wouldn't either. So let's get right to it. Let's go to the showcase of. We'll start off with the armors because that's probably the most important thing for certain of our players. So let's get right to it.
As you can see, well, not only the new variation of the armors, there's a kind of the main overall theme for generally overall themes for whole character variations are it's quite bright. It kind of represent and also kind of represent the pureness, but at the same time it's kind of a contrast from what we had it before. So that will be kind of contrast from the season 14 and this season's.
It's really awesome. And so when you were saying that there's a little bit of like the factions that were helping each other out, do we see those in these variations?
It's starting to get to that point. Eventually you will see something more, but I cannot say too much about that at this point.
Okay, gotcha. And also a new variation for the Warmonger, as we can see here. That's
now
awesome.
She's the part of the knight.
Yeah, that's true. And now we're going to head into the Viking, if I'm not mistaken. Right. What can you tell us on that?
So basically, they are all quite the same. They have the more clean treatment on overall. Like there is a lot of white colors that was added towards every variations. It does feel different than all the previous presentation, because now I really feel each character is a personality by the posing.
That's true. That's a good point.
Oh, this helm.
Yeah.
So actually, the interesting fact on that one is that it's actually introduced in the key art, and you may be asking yourself why the Jormungandr is part of this resistance. Elise might talk about that at some other point.
I don't know if she actually brought that up, but then when we designed all those Year 3 characters, not all of them were just the dark. There were variations of characters that kind of represent the light side as well. So he is the one of them in that design.
My boy Kensei looking so sick. Those pants. I've always said this, but what I love most is for the samurai is the pants. Like I would buy those pants any day of the week. I can't pull them off.
I'm pretty sure I have something similar to that too.
That's my retirement plan.
Oh, the Orochi looking shiny as hell over here.
This is one of my favorite for
That's really
overall
sick.
variation. He looks very sleek.
Yeah. And now we're taking a look at the Hitakiris.
I'm pretty sure someone will kind of find where the reference came from. Some anime fan.
Oh!
Ah!
I won't say it. Oh my god, let's go! Alright.
Took you that long.
Listen, you know me, it takes a while for me to process things. Why do you think I'm so delayed whenever we have jokes on the stream?
I thought you were reacting to Nabushi.
Nobushi's great too.
Of course she is.
And now we're taking a look at the Wulin faction, of course.
Yeah, Wulin Lines actually includes the old and new sets that we introduced in year 4, season 1.
Okay. This is dope. Dope. Insane.
Again, very elaborated armor designs as always.
I like the attitude that they have right now. Just like, don't mess with me, you know?
The pose actually adds another layer of it. So I'm really happy that we apply this the posing while we're doing the presentations.
Yeah, especially for those who are not necessarily, you know, are maybe new to For Honor, that don't know the characters in depth, or maybe they don't play all of them. Again, this whole thing is about, you know, showing character personality, whichever one fits your play style, but also, you know, just your general vibe. So having these poses kind of brings that to life. So a change that we haven't been able to do in the past, but now as we look at, you know, the Shaolin, like this is the embodiment of what they represent, just tranquility, and you get it from every sense when it comes to the other characters as well.
It's completely concentrated.
Just chill, you know.
Yeah.
So I always admired the Shaolin because I have no chill usually, especially when I play For Honor, and it's something that I would love to have. Just look at it. It looks so tranquil, you know?
And the Nuxias. The basically previous one that we had, it's more of a traditional dress inspired, but then the one that goes to the next were more of the armor, fully armor based ones.
Really nice. And again, just giving more options to the players, you know? Not everything is everyone's cup of tea, and you're just adding more to what you can do and what you like.
Exactly.
And again, with the team identification thing, for those of you who are late, you know, there's the materials that you can play with as well now.
Oh, yeah.
That will change everything, you know?
It will be more visible for sure.
Yeah. And finally, the JJ. Just a rustic looking fellow.
Unique mustache with the new sets. This JJ has a very interesting hat,
Yeah, very nice.
which is coming next.
Very nice. Oh, I'm liking this white mustache on the Janhu. Holy, that's imposing. That's actually intimidating.
Very nice scale mail silver one, and interesting. It's kind of a high class, the academic type of helmet.
Yeah.
It's quite an interesting one.
The mustache that color complements the actual armor. Very nice touch.
He looks wise guy.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, there you have it. So you have an overview of all of this stuff, but is that it for all the characters? I have a feeling you have something more for us.
No.
Do we? Do I? Am I missing
I don't know.
somebody?
I don't know. Maybe if we take a look at the next video, you can let us know. Let's go. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, shall we?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
In this season, we get the Aramusha. Aramusha is getting the new armor set.
Very nice. Very nice. So the lost straw that I see here.
Yes, it's quite unique that we use it for the character. In Japanese tradition, this type of straw were used to disguise himself. since there are a lot of straw materials were used, often used in the structures and the buildings, or even you can see it in the environment. So it's kind of useful to hide and sneak in.
I see.
And he
this
can
type
see
of
through the hat.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, my Siri
Very
just went off, but that's okay. We can keep
That's
going.
That's the design is a very stealthy and very mysterious. That was one of the very important part that we were kind of emphasizing it. I mean, being faithful to his characteristic, but then designing something quite different than from his original set were quite challenging for us. And I think we did pretty good job on that one.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, the tattoo really sick.
You know, in a sense of the stealthy, you know, he's wearing the mask. You know, it's a very important to wear the mask.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. Wear your masks, ladies and gentlemen. The Aramusha's doing it, so you got to do it. And it's also like social distance right here between the Aramushas, so it's perfect.
They do have a quite unique different head designs for each. I think it's one of the size wise, it's one of the biggest one among all the sets that he already owns, and and also he has like those straws and the bare leg that he has it, and also there's a cool tattoos on top of it. The dress, the base setting of the dress is a very traditional, so that's another thing that you might be able to enjoy if you are more into that side of. If you prefer that side of the armor design, more historical based.
Very nice.
In the order, I think this is the actual default one. So this is the very basic one. So the color wise, it's very basic straw. But as you can see, there are different type of colors. Like there's a white ones, which is more of a pure one. And there's the other one that is kind of dark, so which kind of represent more towards the darker side.
Very nice. And again, with the pose that we have right here, you know, again, the whole point is to be stealthy with the Aramusha. So this is a look at, you know, the final set. And we'll have a look at maybe the overview of all of the different variations that we're introducing in Year 4, Season 3. But that's not it, guys. We also have the weapons that we want to discuss. So this is the look of the overview of all of the 4 different variations for Year 4, Season 3 for the Aramusha. But let's head into the weapons of this season, because we have those, and then we'll get into the Battle Pass stuff. So, Andrew, what can you tell us about the weapons of this season? Because we're coming back to that theme of, I guess, divinity, purism, and all of those things, as the continent tries to, you know, counter what the corruption has been happening from the warmongers.
Well, today we will be presenting 2 different type of weapon sets, but this one is the seasonal weapon, and they both have a different approach to it. This one, which is kind of opposite to it. This one is more towards the how can we translate the warmongers' corruption. We did it last time, but then it's a different take on it. When we were kind of searching for the theme, the word poisonous and the venomous came up. Mike, do you know what is the difference between the poisonous and venomous?
I do not. I feel like they're the same thing. What's the difference?
It could not be more different, Mike.
Oh, really, Yuri? Okay. All right. I was talking to Andrew, so if you don't mind, please, Andrew, go ahead.
I actually went through the net, and we're learning. I'm actually learning. I was curious, like it looks like the same thing, but there were difference. Poison is a toxin that gets into the body by swallowing or inhaling or absorbing by the skin. So that's something that you can apply through the skin, or something you
ingest.
You ingest it.
Okay.
Venom it's kind of specialized type of poison that that evolved with a specific purpose. Meaning, like, you know, it's activated by the biting or the sting.
So it's much more I guess, like, imposing when you talk about venom, because you're talking about somebody had to do something for you to get venom inside of you.
Right.
As opposed to just me eating, like, some kind of food and I get poisoned from it or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm really hungry right now, as you can tell. I'm a man who likes his calories. So please continue on the topic of Venom.
It was pretty fun that we're learning something.
That's true. That's true. So you knew this without any research, Yuri, or did you have to research that answer?
I did not use any form of research whatsoever. This was sprung up on me. I never saw it coming.
Okay, so you were just born with this knowledge. Okay, gotcha. All right.
So some people are like that, Mike.
Yuri, how do you pronounce two-handed, the wavy blade with the German sword?
Oh shit!
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it.
Aren't you German, Yuri? Don't you have a German descendants, if I'm not mistaken?
Let's move on.
All right, let's take a look at the samurai weapons here. So again, coming back to the topic of Venom, when you say that it's based off of the corruption, because Elise at the top of the show was talking about Draconite, and obviously we saw with Yuri prior is that Draconite could be used, in different ways, and you'll see that in the event Tales of Rebellion if you guys missed that. So you're saying that this is much more the darker use of Draconite that is going to be used in this weapon set.
That is correct, but at the same time, it was just more of a visual representation, visual translation of it. So we were just using the kind of dangerous patterns from the poisonous or venomous animals, and we're using their unique color tones. So base are quite dark, but then there are accentuated, very vibrant colors to scare the enemies.
I see.
And that was how we were creating and designing these weapons.
And if we come back to what happened last season, I we were talking about and doing the weapon showcase when it was Tyranny, and we were talking about weapons that were like corrupted, like they were. I don't know how to describe it any other way, because they were almost grotesque in the sense that they were like, very, very bright green, decay, all of these things that like you're getting infected. And now it's kind of the other ways that like this weapon possesses the infection itself, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, cool. I like it. So it seems that we've taken a look at all of the weapons for Year 4 Season 3, especially, I should say for specifically the regular drop items. But now let's get into the Battle Pass. Of course, we have a new one for Year 4 Season 3. Yuri, what can you tell us about, the concept and also the content that's not weapon related?
Yeah, so we're trying to tie in with basically what Andrew spoke of earlier. We're going with a lot of nature tones for the outfits. Basically, the people are tired of the tyranny from the warmongers, and they're trying to find some way out of it. So everybody's going towards most people are trying to find solutions outside of their regular culture. So we're seeing like some slight shamanism and heading towards nature and asking for druids to help them out in this time of need. So that's where the outfits and most of these signatures come from. It's just like invoking some kind of good to come out of like all of this negativity. We also have this effect here that you can equip on your character, which is the druids. The druids are literally coming towards the heroes, and we have two sets here. So they're supposed to be almost like a twin druid. So it's pretty cool that you have like a nice variation between the two. You have one that's a little bit more fall colors, and you have one that's more summer. And what's fun about it is that you have like they have a lot of nice subtle changes to them that brings a lot of variety to our characters.
That's really awesome. And of course, there's a few items that are in here that are not necessarily all about that. We saw a couple of those signatures that we saw where the Jormungandrs like is drinking a pint of mead, I would assume, and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And then finally, can you tell us a little bit about this execution that we're seeing right now?
So yeah, again, the animation team just thinking outside the box. They thought it would be really interesting to have the druid like. Inspired from the druid and all of the things that we were creating. They figured it would be really cool if the druid actually had some kind of power to like bring it back into nature. So we have the metamorphosis execution where you literally turn your victim into a shrub. So it just everything from this set meshes in together so well. It looks really wonderful, and I mean the effect combined with a lot of the emotes that we've shipped out in the last year, it just goes really well together.
That's awesome. And again, for those of you who might be joining us late, this is part of the Battle Pass for Year 4 Season 3. So that'll be available on September 17th. That's next week, next Thursday. So Andrew, I know we saw a little bit of the content when it comes to the weapons. What can you tell us? And we'll get into the showcase right away, I guess, of the weapons for the Battle Pass. What are they all about?
Yeah, so basically, as you briefly saw in Yuri's presentation, these are the Battle Pass weapons. The overall symbol is the flower of air. I think it's related with the herbalism. It's the godness of healing, or the forge of the godness. There's many type of god that each culture has it, and we kind of followed up with each culture. But then that will be showcased throughout the different type of battle outfits. But this one is a more specifically for the flower of air. So materials, as I said, everything's kind of pure. So we were kind of using the silver or the ivory marbles, or also something that is quite unique that you can see it from each weapons or the shield is it's this green brown stone, which is called the Bezor stone. I think if you are a Harry Potter fan, you might know what I'm talking about. It's the stone that has the people believe that there's a healing power in it. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of researching many different cultures to see what are the things that relate with the healings. So these are the ones that we added. Also, based on the nature, the elvish patterns were quite interesting to add it into the design. So that was we added for the patterns, also the colors. So the color wise, there's a white, the silvers and green and the brown and the pure blue. Sometimes the elvish gold was used to create the weapons.
And it pulls off like a very natural look. And again, you mentioned I'm sorry, the name, I can't remember exactly how you pronounced it. What was the flower's name?
Air. I'm not
flower
sure
of
if
air,
I pronounce it. Yeah, is correct. But then yes.
So I guess there's also the Rose of Horkos that we also introduced last season, and there's quite a contrast because the Rose of Horkos is what the Order of Horkos and the Warmongers have introduced in terms of the corruption that they've spread and all of that. And again, the whole thing about this season is that we're trying to balance and have these two forces that are kind of going against each other. And this is the counter of this, I'm assuming.
That is correct. Like last season, when you were seeing there's a lot of rust and damage and the wrinkles and some things are spreading, this is more pure, clean. I think this is one of I would say the more newer, is that the right way to say? But it's not used.
I see
most of the time when we are creating designs of the armors or the weapons, there are always some damages, there's always some dirts, but then this is something that it just came out of
the freshest.
Yes, freshest.
The freshest. I see.
So
just out the oven.
You can exactly see the contrast from the previous ones.
Yeah. Beautiful. And again, Yuri, you were talking about the content that has to do with the that's not weapon related, and I feel like these fit so well together, and again through that concept of staying pure, the divinity, and trying to heal yourself through things that you don't necessarily understand because of all of this corruption that happened because of the warmongers.
Yeah, there's a really nice juxtaposition between everything that we're offering this season, I find. So you have like this side of purity versus the side with the corruption. It really allows you to find a lot to customize your character with the theme that we're offering. It's very nice.
And it's a shame that a lot of this is going to be covered in blood because it's just so beautiful.
This is stain resistant, I'm sure.
Easily washable.
Machine washable. So
now we're taking a look at the honestly, like when we look at this, it's again I'm always shocked and surprised to what extent, you know, we're up to our 15th season in For Honor, where we have, you know, regular updates and new content that's added, and it's really just for me, as just like as a fan of video games, I'm really impressed to what extent you can differ these at each time. It's really a unique flavor each time, and again, some people enjoy, you know, the edgier side of things, but we're looking at something that's kind of a brand new take, and also that fits with the season and the theme.
That's our goal. You know, every season that we wish you guys have a different type of experience. We wish you to like not it's only for just the one type of a person. It's like we would like to spread it enough so everyone can enjoy. And this is just the one part of the visual difference.
And I don't know about you guys, but like I feel like as you keep playing the game, like your tastes evolve as well. Like I remember like I always wanted to be like super edgy at first, and you know, as I continue playing, you know, your change and your palette for these things you know, changes. So it's really cool.
Yeah, especially with now the team identification, we unlocked even more colors.
That's so true.
Everyone.
That's so true.
So I'm really excited, especially when especially with the materials, because just like colors really make a difference.
Yeah, it's all about the fashion, and I know Andrew, that you are the king of fashion for Honor. So this is great stuff. So now, lastly, we're taking a look at the Wulin faction. Starting off with the Tiandi.
Again, what's cool about it? It's not just the going straight towards the each cultures. It's not. You might not recognize this as a Chinese weapon. You can. The theme is kind of overwhelming. It's kind of cover everything to unite the whole sets.
Yeah. And a reminder that this is all part of the Year 4 Season 3 Battle Pass. Again, this is going to be live on September 17th, which is next week. I know a lot of you guys are joining us today, maybe after UB Forward. Our season starts September 17th, where all of the content and all of the things that we discussed today on the show are happening next week. So again, when it comes to this is Battle Pass content that we're covering, and just wrapping up in terms of the show today. And this is the last weapon from the Zhanhu, I believe. That's right. There you have it, an overview of all of this stuff. This is fantastic, again, from the Battle Pass. Andrew, Yuri, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. I know it was a pretty long segment, and Yuri, you've been here with us for the Tales of Rebellion as well. Again, maybe for those of you who missed it, this is pre-recorded, so we're going to wrap up today's show. Say thank you to Andrew and Yuri. Again, always a pleasure to talk to you guys. I hope you enjoyed your time.
I always do.
Excellent. We'll see you guys next time.